Good morning. Welcome to my drive-through this morning. I'm cruising through the highway, Red Hill in Hamilton, Red Hill Valley Highway. It's a 90K highway. I'm cruising on early this morning. I'm here to talk about all about Liberia.com. As I merge on the highway, I'm merging on the highway right now. Damn, I'm there. So, all about Liberia.com. I'm here this morning to just reflect on the issues of bigotry. Bigotry in Liberia. Bigotry is one of the things that have destroyed our nation and has reduced everybody to wanting to be president for the nation, or maybe representative, senator, all of this stuff. All because the 12 years of President Salif put huge salaries in the hands of Liberians, people who call themselves senators and representatives. And another thing is that the bigotry in Liberia is all about certain people, certain Liberia, most of them, when they got degree or educated, they are not comfortable with anybody else getting educated or degree. When they are holding high position, they are not comfortable with anybody else. And the way how you get to know, check your friends. By the time you are somebody friendly, you're close, you're eat dry rice together, you're go hunt or pass on together. By the time they get to a certain position, you're not an equal anymore. Just very few individuals in Liberia, they will never use their opportunity that God has given them to go against their friends, who the ones live at grassroots friends. No. You know, I always pay special tribute to a friend of mine, David Kimma. I got to know David Kimma through Tukbado when I was working with Tukbado, managing his business from 1986 up to 1990. So David Kimba used to come to audit me. He one of Liberia best auditors and accountant, CPA. Got up to his master's degree and probably working on his PhD. David Kimba and myself got friendly from that point. And since we be friendly, it be one of the most stable friendship. David never used his position or his having money or education to make me feel that, okay, I shouldn't have it. He has always encouraged me to go to school, to try to do something to improve my life, to be like him. That's what David Kimma have always done. And it's been 35 years of friendship, consistent. And you cannot hardly find any Liberian to do those things. When they get position, they don't want to see anybody. When they get opportunity, they don't want to see their friends again. So, how you want for your country to be developed? So, if you got that kind of attitude, and your friend decided, that's why when I went to Liberia to go do business, I experienced that kind of serious mess that I went through. The same thing. People see you trying to improve your life, they are vexed. They're not even happy. Very few people you find Liberians to be happy for your improvement and for your success. Very few Liberians will do that. Get out. Yeah, some crazy guy behind me. You know, just very few Liberians will do that. Not many. And that's why our country is what it is today. Because we don't know how to support one another. Everybody want the opportunity for themselves, for their family, not even someone, they're not even for their family, because they get the opportunity, so they don't even help their families. Just very few people. So that's what got our country to be how it is. And because of that, all of the discussion on social media and wherever, you ever hear anyone there talking about education? You only hear people boasting about later education they get. You know, you only hear people boasting and swearing, that sure they're swearing themselves over education, but you never hear them talking one day, all of the candidates, you never hear them talking anything about improving education in our country. That's the thing that has affected our nation. You cannot have an illiterate population and you expect any development to come to such a nation. No. Moreover, when there have been very serious war in our nation where the children, just imagine, the war, let's say 30 years of conflict. And most of the children that you see in the street in offices in Liberia right now, they're between the 30s to the 40, 45 like that. So those children, most of them, that I saw fighting war, they was 8 years old, 9 years old, 15 years old, up to 20. So if you want to do the math, add 30 years to our age, someone who was 8 years old and was fighting war. Add 30 years to someone who was 15 years old and was fighting war. Add 30 years to someone who was even 20 years when they were fighting war. Then look at the demographic of Liberia right now, the population. They fall just within that category. Those children never had any opportunity to any good parenting. By the time the war came in 1990, the educational system in our country was already broken and destroyed. Done. Ellen Johnson, they tried to encourage education, but they didn't have any plan to recover the population of the young generation of Liberia, to recover them and make sure that there was genuine education was planted. They allowed people who wanted to be senators and seek government offices to run behind $17,000 salary to build all kind of mischief school, mischief hospital, mischief clinic, all kind of mischief stuff that it doesn't make any sense. People go to school, you don't do an assignment. You're not able to do an assignment. You gave an assignment to somebody, pay somebody to do an assignment up to the time you graduate. Then what did you learn there? Those kind of people, they do the same thing in medical school. You got medicine in a medical school and not play to joke with. After medical school, you're going to deal with somebody's life. Education, you want to be a teacher, a professor, and you learn anything, you got to be prepared. And it's not a joke. And people passing around the acting that they don't know what's going on with the country. But one of the things one of my brother and I were talking about yesterday was the issue of that nation living on a curse. And people taking it for a joke. I have given you my challenge that if any president, you don't declare a genuine fast and prayer and cleansing of that nation of the blood that has been wasted on our land. For some of you in the young generation, they know nothing about high man business. That our generation, the generation behind us, and our generation heard about high man business. And you see how God was speaking to us during the crisis? What happened in the darkness under the umbrella of high men, people extracting human being parts for racialistic purposes? It happened live, like a video. 1990 in the street. People eating him or heart. People, Liberians tend to carnivores. Pregnant woman, a child being debated. And the only way to find out, by the time she approached that group, they open her stomach. Leave her living and open her stomach to find what child in there. You see what happened to that nation? That executive mansion, you know how much blood, including my two brothers' blood, that in that mansion, that they gave to the lion to consume. But I never have any evil against those people who did those things. Because if we didn't fight war, those kind of things not happen. If we didn't destroy our country, those kind of things not happen. I got compassion. God gave me compassion. I never held it against anybody up to now. But I feel sorry. Because any human being who is sound of his own sound mind will not do the kind of killing that took place in that country. And you people passing around, messing around with our nation and unprecedented business and not taking care. You ministers of gospel that are passing around in Liberia, I know certain people that I respect. I don't want to call their name from a Methodist setting. Certain pastor, especially the one that cater for us, that took care of us on the refugee camp. And certain one that I know, they are genuine. But I don't know how much, because what I saw in Liberia for 1 year with the church, I went to a small church on Dupo Road called Miraculous Power of Jesus Christ. Mother Nelson maintained that church as one of the old church in the old order. It wasn't packed because it had restriction. You had to live according to the Bible. You had to live according to the principle in that church. Miraculous Power of Jesus Christ. Small church, small people, but very spirit-filled church. I just sat by this morning to tell you what got our country to be. Because if you don't know your problem as an individual, there's no way that you can solve your own problem. Never. You will never solve it. Ignore it and run with the wind and see what happens. So I stopped by here this morning to tell you people, bigotry is not good for any nation. Pompousness, that bigotry comes along with evil. Because when you have educated, you become very dangerous. But we can seek education, genuine education. I talk about it not because I'm that educated. I talk about it because I know the importance, and I follow the man who have compassion for that country. The late William R. Tolbert, my idol, academic idol, the man who the country people still cursing, and he laid down his life for country people. Build school all over, multilateral school, so that the additional Liberian can go to school. When you graduate from high school, you're able to work. Most of the boys that graduated from Bentonville High School in the 80s, most of them before they walk in, they are working with the banks. And big era from Bentonville High School, the accounting program, the business program in Bentonville High School. Oh, you see what I'm talking about? That's the man that the native people still cursing today. Foundation that was laid down by Barker Murphy and other mischief politicians who misled the congregation, the nation, to its final death today. God bless you. I hope you listen to this very keenly. That's why people don't see me like, Pastor, I don't care what you feel, who you think I am. I know, because there no ordinary man that God will minister to every day, 2 a.m. in the morning. Everything that I got to talk about, it comes to me through the Holy Spirit. Not Satan, because Satan will be telling me to go look for a gun to kill somebody or something. But as long as God bring his word to me every 2 a.m. in the morning, and my calling came when I was 17 years old, and I fought my life, how God has saved my life. I know he saved it for a reason, and I don't expect for anybody to like me. But the only person I expect love from is God. That's it. And you want to like me, that's your business. You want to listen to my preaching, up to you. I will preach the Bible just the way how it is. How people, contemporary preaching, where people need to know. You don't play around with God, the words of God. I use some strong words. I know why I use it, because I want to know that I'm serious. Because Jesus came to the point where he had to do, apart from flunking, he had to use a strong word on his distractor. Have a blessed day.